Hi, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new around here, consider clicking that red subscribe button right below the video. It's free to you, and it really helps out the channel. I got a new toy today for gold prospecting, and I'm so excited to show it to you I haven't even been able to bring it to the river. Let's check it out. So before I show you the new toy, there was a few pointers that I really wanted to key on before I found my new sluice box. As that is my new toy, the sluice box I've been talking about. As I've been wanting to get one for a while, I'm sure you can tell from my last few videos, if you watched them, I've really wanted to get one to increase the material I can move. Before I go ahead and show you the sluice box I went with, I want to go ahead and say that just about any sluice box out there, whether it's a cheapy Walmart one or one of the real expensive nice Gold Hog or Keen brand ones or one of the other more notorious brands out there, all the sluice boxes are going to work if you set them up properly and use them correctly. So really it comes down to a base of preference and personality of what kind of sluice you're looking at. Big part of the factors that I wanted to look at was the price being one, as I am basically a recreational gold prospector. I like to get a little more into it than recreational, but not overbearing. Next thing was the lightweight and the durability of it, as I'm going to be hiking into places and packing it in and using it on rocky stream beds and cobbly creeks. I wanted to make sure it was going to last me a long time if I was going to invest some money into it. Another thing is I wanted to make sure that it was going to work with the equipment I currently had, which this is going to be a personal thing for each and every one of you out there. Take an assessment of the equipment you already have for gold prospecting and make sure your sluice box selection will work well with what you have. And what I mean by that is, like, I have the automatic classifier, which I'm very happy with and proud to use out there as I made it. If you haven't seen that, go ahead and check a video out. I'll put a card up above. But I wanted a sluice box that would pair well with that, so that instantly knocked out a lot of the auto classifying sluice boxes. Nothing against those sluice boxes, as I'm sure they work well for the prospectors that use them, but I already resolved the problem of classifying in my own method of madness, so I wanted to make sure the sluice box didn't need to take that step. Furthermore, I really wanted it to be user-friendly or friendly to the conditions that I would be mostly exposing it to. A lot of the Colorado creeks around here can have real low water at times, and there's times where a lot of them can be raging. So I wanted something that could work in both type atmospheres, mostly focusing on the smaller creek end of side of things, as you can build a stand or buy a stand for most sluice boxes to allow them to be used in deeper water. And one final point I wanted to touch on. Looking at sluice boxes and looking into purchasing one, I did a lot of research through YouTube videos like this one, forums, there's TreasureNet, there is Kevin's website, Finding Gold in Colorado. There's multiple other websites out there that are great resources for you to use. Prospectors have already used, tried out, and put the equipment to the test, so it's a very reliable resource to use. A lot of it's personal information and personal opinions, but you can obviously watch the video, read the content, and take it into your own personal opinions so you can make the correct selection when you're looking to find a new toy or a new sluice box. So I personally decided to go with the Angus McKirk, the Expedition. And like stated before, there's multiple reasons why I chose this particular box. A few of the main reasons was the cost. Coming in at just about $100, it was one of the lower priced sluice boxes you can find out there. There was a few other sluice boxes that were priced cheaper. There was, I do believe it was the Fox brand sluices. There was some off-brand sluices, some Walmart brand sluices, and some other sluices out there that were in that price range. And then also there's some low end of the Gold Hog and the Keen sluices that you can get for about $100. But I ultimately wanted to go with a lightweight box, which the Angus McKirk brand uses ABS plastic, which is one of the strongest plastics we have. And at first I was skeptical. When I first took it out of the box, I was like, this is very, very plasticky for knowing the fact that it's going to be sitting on rocks, cobble, sharp bedrock, and I'm going to be loading rocks and dirt into it as the water washes over it. And anybody out there that does any prospecting knows water mixed with rocks washing over it can do some serious damage. It scratches up your sluice box, it can gouge them up, multiple other things. So I was worried about the durability of it, knowing the fact that it was plastic. But doing a little more research and some information given to me through the research of the product, I found out with the ABS plastic, the nice part about that is if anything was to happen to your box, whether it cracked or you got a chip in it or anything else, you can actually repair it with the ABS cement available at most hardware stores like Home Depot and Lowe's, which was great factor for me, as I didn't want to buy a expensive sluice box that was possibly made out of aluminum or metal and have something happen to it, whether I'm dropping it or I drop a rock on it or whatever might happen to it, and I damage it into a way where I'm unable to fix it with the tools that I have at my disposal. And I didn't want to have to invest that much money into something that I was unable to fix, or I didn't know how to fix or couldn't fix due to the tools at my disposal. So although this is plastic and I have yet to run it, as I said, I was so excited to get it, I wanted to share it with you guys. I do have extreme confidence with all the reviews I did and all the prospectors' claims. I have extreme confidence that it will hold up and be very, very durable for many seasons of my prospecting for the type of prospecting I do. I'm going to go ahead and leave a link below to Kevin's site, Finding Gold in Colorado. He was a big influencer for me, as I do own his book, Finding Gold in Colorado, which is a great resource if you're going to be doing gold prospecting in Colorado. Another thing that comes along with that is his website, which is a huge resource for every level of prospecting. He has a huge form or page on his personal preference of favorite tools and prospecting devices, and that's just one of the many forms and pieces of research I used to make my final decision, as one of his sluice boxes he mentions in his form and in his write-up is the Angus McKirk line. So go ahead and check that out. Like I said, I'm going to put the link below. Awesome website, and I recommend you take a peek at it. So one last point I wanted to touch on was efficiency. Knowing the size of this sluice box, I know it will have no problem in keeping up with my automatic classifier and the amount of cons that provides me. One thing I was worried about was the cleanup of the sluice box and the ease of the cleanup of the sluice box. As a lot of sluice boxes out there have a lot of pieces, parts, miner's moss, deep V matting, groove matting, green matting, matting galore. I thought the pieces, the parts, and the matting was just another piece to the puzzle that you could either lose, have to buy again. The matting you definitely have to repurchase and buy again, because over years it's going to wear down and get beat up from just wear and tear of using it. So that was a huge bonus for me with the Angus McKirk drop ripple sluice design. There's absolutely no matting, there's no pieces and parts to it. The entire sluice is one piece. It has real deep grooves underneath the drop ripple, which allows the heaviers, the golds, the black sands to drop out and sink down into there. So you don't have a need for any matting or special type of pieces or parts to put on top of the sluice. And that was huge for me, as I'm just getting into sluicing. I wanted something user-friendly What I mean by that is all of them have to be set up the same way. You want them level, side to side, and of course you want your 5 to 7 degree drop while your water is going over that with the correct depth of water to provide the sluice with what it needs to work accurately and efficiently to collect the heavies. But I wanted something that was easily easily to do a cleanup. It was going to be easy to reset up after a cleanup, and I could do multiple cleanups just in case I was worried about getting too much black sand built up, or if I was worried about not having the sluice set up correctly and I wanted to verify that I had everything set correctly and was getting the right amount of materials dropped in the early ripples. There's a lot of many reasons why the fast, easy, and efficient cleanup was a huge part of why I chose the Angus McKirk line. Not to mention the fact that I'll never have to buy a sluice mat. I won't have to choose what type of sluice mat I want, as there's so many different types and styles out there, and I won't have to invest any money in additional pieces, parts, screws, wing nuts, or like I said, sluice matting or miner's moss. So included with this sluice box comes with a one-page set of directions. Basically a few small, easy steps to get you setting up the sluice, how to hold the sluice in place, processing the material, and how to clean out the sluice. It also has a few tidbits on there explaining about the ABS plastic that we spoke about earlier. Also speaking about some of the assembly grease or white chalky residue that might be left on the sluice. And then finally, it covers the base warranty that Angus McKirk offers and provides for its products. So there is a possibility that the sluice box could come with a greasy or a white, gray, chalky looking film on it. It has nothing to do but a residue resulting in the heating of the plastic during manufacturing. It won't affect the performance or the durability of the sluice box. If you just get yourself some Dawn dish soap and a scour pad or a 3M Scotch pad and fill up a 5-gallon bucket full of some water, add in some Dawn dish soap and mix it up. Rinse down your sluice box, scrub it down in all the little nooks and crannies, wash down all that extra greasy residue or white, gray, chalky looking film that might be on there, depending on how the residue set up during manufacturing. And after you give it a rinse, she'll be good to go. One thing I wanted to touch on with the Angus McKirk sluice box systems is they are abyss systems. So it's a drop ripple system, and the biggest difference between most of them is just the size. They have everything from the small Scout system going up to the Recon, the Foreman, and the Boss, which is their largest of the abyss systems. The deep catch grooves in the abyss drop ripple system creates a back eddy, or a slow portion of the water, which allows the heavier materials to drop out. This in turn makes it so your sluice box isn't required to have sluice matting, miner's moss, or some other sort of carpeting system to help catch the gold. I am also currently in the process of creating a homemade cheap sluice stand for my new sluice box. In most situations I probably won't need the sluice stand, but there is times when I go down to the river to prospect where the water level isn't where I expect it, or if there's more people out there prospecting than I was expecting as well, and I might not get the best location to set the sluice box up without a proper stand or proper legs to adjust the height to get the correct water flow at the part of stream or river I am in. Overall, I really feel the Angus McKirk Expedition Sluice brought the total package for me. It was efficient, it was proven by prospector reviews and recommendations, it's lightweight and durable, and it works well with all the current equipment I have. Not to mention how fast, easy, and efficient the cleanouts are. I will be able to run more material through this box, spending less time doing cleanouts, therefore retrieving a lot more of the gold, or what I like to call the goods. Well, I really hoped you enjoyed me giving you my first impressions of my new toy for my gold prospecting journey. I hope some of the information provided in the video might help you in determining what sluice box you're going to go with along your gold prospecting journey. If you want to see some dirt ran through this puppy, as my next video is going to be me taking this out and doing a live river test with it, as I'm extremely excited to get that opportunity to bring that to you, go ahead and click that red subscribe button right underneath the video. It's free to you, really helps me out, and you'll be able to see this puppy with some gold in it. So ultimately, no matter what sluice box you choose or what gold prospecting equipment you choose to go with, the biggest thing is you go out there, enjoy yourself, have a great time, and enjoy some of what outdoors have to offer. Once again, a lot of the information I used in this video to bring to you some of the facts and tidbits that I learned in making my decision for my sluice box choice came from a lot of websites, forums, and YouTube videos. So make sure you check out a lot of different YouTube videos, websites, and forums. I'm putting a few links down below in the description to Finding Gold in Colorado, which is Kevin's page. It's been a huge resource for me, and I use it, so I thought I'd share it with you. There's multiple resources out there, whether it's YouTube, websites, forums. Make sure you do your research and choose the tool that will fit your prospecting the best. Well, I really hope to see you out there next time when we're running some dirt through this guy.